Welcome everyone to the Campus Insider series. My name is Sanika. I am your friend, your mentor, and your guide, welcoming everyone to the Campus Insider. Everything you want to know about IPM at IIM Jammu. And we have Parnika Srivastav, Vanshika Madan, and Raghav Kohli with us, who will be joining in a while. Without any further ado, let's quickly request them to introduce themselves. A little bit sneak peek about their profile will help you understanding what kind of profile you need to join a prestigious program like an IPM in IIM Jammu. To start with, Parnika, with you, can you please introduce yourself to my students?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry my voice is a bit hazy. That is because I have COVID and we had approximately 10 days of exams. So please bear with me. I'm Parnika Srivastava. I'm currently a first year student at IIM Jammu and sooning and hoping to be in the second year as well. And here at IIM Jammu, I've not only seen myself grow personally, but a lot on professional level as well. I've had so many experiences. I belong from Pune, Maharashtra, and I've done my coaching from IMS Pune. And I was originally a science student. So I took PCM in my 11th and 12th standard and was actually preparing for JEE. But in the last year, I actually found out about IPMAT course, and then in the 3 months of span, I studied IPMAT and did coaching for IPM, and here I am at IIM Jammu. Looking forward right now, recently, I'm just preparing and I'm in high spirits to go for boot camp. And we are leaving at 1 o'clock to a nearby hill station. I think so. Most of you guys might not know, but it's called Patni Top. And we are going to spend 5 days, 5 nights, 6 days there. And we are going to be coming back on first, then soon leaving for our 15 days holiday. And then we will be coming back and starting our second year. So that is what I'm going right now.
Fantastic. So you were preparing for JEE and then you decided to move to the IPM. Okay. A lot of you who might not know, but this is something which we see every year that the students who are preparing for JEE, for them, IPM becomes a little cakewalk. So, in case if parents who are attending and considering this as a secondary option, in case if your you know kid is preparing for JEE, IPM is something which is possible. Okay, Vanshika, would you please introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about your profile and how did you kind of landed in IIM Jammu?
Hello guys, I'm Vanshika Madan, currently pursuing IPM at IIM Jammu, as you already know. Parnika has totally covered the details and what is going on here at campus, but I'll just tell you about myself a little. I'm from Delhi. I went to IMS Cohort Enclave. I don't know how many of you know that, but see, so I was originally a humanities student. I had maths. I did torture myself, but I had humanities and same like a 3 month span, had to do it, just create just the late night sessions, everything. We have to do it. And then I gave the GIPMAT. I came to know about it in like, if the paper was in June, I came to know about it in January. It was like that. So after that, I came here, and I have to say, the way you develop yourself mentally, physically, even, and just professionally also, you will never know. Like, I remember sitting in the orientation hall and just looking at all these people, feeling intimidated and being like, oh my god, what have I gotten myself into, and all that. But after some time, you just realize, okay, you made the right choice. So that tells you a little about me.
Something which I am very keen to know. I think it's both of you. The feeling of initially entering IIM or rather any university or any institute, first year, everything is new, uh, which is very common. But what I really want to know is what exactly your percentages were in terms of your 10th and 12th. Would you be able to tell me, starting with you, Parnika, uh, what did you score in your 10th and 12th?
Okay, so I scored around 96.7% in my 10th standard, and I scored around 93% in my PCM in my 12th standard. And talking about GPMAT, I scored around 97.7 percentile.
Okay, okay. Vanshika, with you?
Ma'am, I got 92% in my class 10th and 90% in my class 12th. And in the GPMAT, I had 99.6, sorry, 96.9, something like that.
96.9. Okay. To start with the information, somebody asked me, ma'am, good score last year के cutoff बता दीजिए. Sushant पूछ रहा था. Sushant's cutoff is 330 plus. That's a good score. ठीक है. Now, if you see students, Vanshika, Parnika, both of you were 90 plus students, is what I can understand. 95 plus students. Okay. With GIPMAT, you have scored 96 above. All right. Now, this would be basically, let's say, a decent score till last year when it comes to entering something, as an IIM Jammu or a both there. What were your options, Parnika, when it comes to IIM Jammu is concerned? As in, कि ये see what I understand in my experience, IIM Jammu किसी का first option नहीं होता है. It's a hierarchy. Indore, Rohtak, Ranchi, and then it goes as. So what was your story, Parnika? ये IIM Jammu के अलावा और IPMAT में और क्या-क्या options थे? शहीद सुखदेव भी try किया था या कोई और college भी try किया था?
Okay, so like मेरे जो options थे, so obviously I was aiming for IIM Indore and that was my first priority and actually my dream college since I got to know about IPMAT. But I think so most of the aspirants will relate with me the funda of not clearing one section and then जैसे मेरा verbal नहीं हुआ था, like मेरा verbal 2-3 marks से छूट गया था इंदौर में, and that is why I couldn't give interviews and actually I cleared MCQ and short answer both with बहुत अच्छे marks, but verbal I screwed up basically. So that was my first priority. And I am Rohtak and Ranchi. I'm Ranchi. I was not that sure about I am Ranchi because there is not much information about IPM at I am Ranchi, and it was never really my priority. And second thing about I am Rohtak. Again, it was my second priority after I am Indore. But to be very honest, I didn't find I am Rohtak and I am Jammu to be that different on my priority list. One thing would also be there that is because I'm originally from Delhi, so my maternal family is in Delhi, and that is much closer to Jammu. So I would have a home in Delhi as well. So that is why I considered I am Jammu as well. And one thing that I would like to say is I am Jammu has 2 months of corporate internship and 1 month of social internship. So that internship, like I got into IIM Bodhgaya in first list and I got into IIM Jammu in the third list. So in like first I got into IIM Bodhgaya. The thing is, choosing between IIM Bodhgaya and IIM Jammu was pretty difficult for me. That is because there were many factors. First of all was the diversity thing. That is in IIM Jammu in our 02 and 01 batch, there is only like 50 girls and 4 boys ratio. But in our batch, it was like 63 girls and 70 boys ratio. Now it has become much better, but at that time when I was making the decision, the diversity ratio was not good. So that was also one thing, but the internship factor that there is internship and there is no such kind of internship at I am like not that kind of internship, but I am Rohtak or I am both. Yeah, that actually led me coming here. And I think that is a very nice choice that I made because the internships that we have here are pretty serious and there are some excellent companies that are coming for undergraduate level. So these were the factors that I considered or that led me to joining IIM Jammu.
What about you, Vanshika?
Well, as you have already said, there's a hierarchy in the IIMs that everyone follows. I also followed that, but I also gave some other exams as well. I'm from Delhi only, so I gave IPU CET. I don't know if you're well aware of that. I also gave the CET, NPAT. These are my other options. I cleared all of them because, well, CVT, IPU CET, it was at that time I was like, I just want options. I just want something to choose from. Yeah, and then I also got into NMIMS main campus, and that was a actually I while other people were grappling with I am Jammu or I am both here, I was like, should I go to NMIMS? But of course, the factor played out that it's an IM, and after that the IM Jammu versus Bodhgaya debate came, and I remember there were groups, WhatsApp groups, everyone was just asking the same question. Oh my god, like, is it better, is it not? And then Afterwards, I talked to parents actually of like if the students are in NIMS, Jammu, Bodh, are you happy with their decision? Because I had to think about my parents as well. Yeah. So then we all sat down, had a family meeting, and decided that yeah, this is done. Jammu is the one.
Jammu is the one, absolutely. Now, out of what I can understand is, this journey, what you are, you just explained to me. Working with students for now a couple of years, I've realized this is a journey which every student goes through. Every student who's looking at management will apply for NMIMS, will apply for Christ, Symbiosis, Shahid Sukhdev. This is a journey. I think students who are going to go apply for 25, 26, if you listen to their journey, you will see yourself in a similar situation. The only thing you will be able to get through the situation is by prioritizing कि मेरा first क्या होने वाला है. NMIMS जरूरी है कि IIM जरूरी है. Get your answers ready. This would help you. Now, let me answer a question somebody is asking in the Q&A. Is IPMAT really worth it? Okay. Now let's start talking about this question which a lot of parents have in mind, a lot of students have in mind. The students who are not planning to appear, not planning to prepare because people feel कि बहुत मेहनत है मैम, मैथ्स भी इतना अच्छा नहीं है, मेरा मैथ्स आईसीयू में है. But is IPMAT really worth it? Let's start with you, Parnika. Is IPMAT worth it?
For this thing, I just have one thing to say. What can be much more better than having an MBA experience prior to an MBA? Like this, I feel like this is the most different and unique course that has ever existed in, I feel like, in our country. That is because we are having so many experiences. We are having, I feel like the experience and the peer group or the environment matters the most. So like, is IPMAT really worth it? It is definitely 100% worth it because I feel like I've made the right choice of leaving. I was in Fiji. I was not, I was preparing for JEE and I was in Fiji and I was totally devoted towards JEE. But when I got to know about the IPM and the courses they do there and how the things work, I totally shifted and I joined IMS. So it was like a 360-degree shift. And even I had this question in my mind that is IPMAT really worth it? But that is when I talked to one of the senior that was present here, and she said to me exactly what the things here are. So you will get to experience corporate, so you will get to experience professional life or corporate life, and you will learn a lot of things. So our courses are not only limited to management, but we study psychology here, we study sociology here, we have maths here, statistics, math, we have economics, we have everything. Like you name one course, we have it in one of the semester. Plus I feel like the external things here, for example the committee system that works here. So our community system is, so if any of you guys know, these schools have this thing called a committee, and it's a very, there are clubs and committees that work together for the students, and by like for the students they do a lot of events. So these experiences are where you will find a lot of things like networking and all of these things, communication. You will, after 3 years, I think so, I will grow so, I'm just in awe of saying that IPMAT is really worth it. I'm just saying, just join it. I mean, don't think about it either. Just join it. Don't give it second thought.
Vanshika,
So see, I agree completely. Like you are getting an MBA experience before the MBA experience, but one thing I have encountered more like the committee thing. See, I'm in a student-driven institute. If you have a problem, you don't go to a teacher. Absolutely not. You go to the students only, and they are going to totally resolve it for you. If I have a problem with a teacher or something, some homework assignment, I'll go to the academic committee. If my bed breaks, I'll go to the infrastructure committee, which I am a part of. See, it's like that. And also I have to say, like the diversity of the course, of course, but the the presentations, I'll tell you, like I used to have stage fright, okay? I was so like fearful. Oh my god, I have to speak in front of people. Here in one semester I have to give 5 presentations. So it really has built up my confidence. It has made me very not competitive at all, not really, but confident in my abilities that I can actually do something, And I think that's how it is actually catering to my mental health and growth. And actually, not just me, I see people improving every semester. People like one person I know, they were not able to just talk to people very freely, and they're very introverted, but the person is now having class participation. He's like regularly meeting people now, very extroverted now, because yeah, that is what IM teaches us. It is for us to be adaptive and be a global citizen wherever we go.
Absolutely. Now, three things. If students have any idea, Atishay, I hope this answers the question for you, but I'll just tell you three things why you should consider joining IIM. Okay. Firstly, the brand. Okay. You if even if you consider possibly, because I'm not too sure if you guys are aware, but a lot of students who join IIM Jammu or IIM Bodh Gaya will start preparing for CAT in the second year. Looking out for a ABC. ABC matlab IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta. They will look out for a better IIM because it goes as per NIRF ranking. And the placement kind of increases as you are going for a better IIM. Right. But consider this or think about this have your when you have your UG in your profile, even undergraduate भी आपने IIM से किया है, what would be the value of it? You are coming from a different pedagogy altogether. दूसरी चीज, what you really need to understand is that the peer group whom you study with matters a lot. If you are going for these good universities where you know that the class will have 90 plus students, imagine the conversations you would have with them. If you go, just to give you an understanding, if you are a student who is 90 plus and you walk into a class which is, of students who are, I am not trying to segregate students here, but you have to understand that if you're looking for growth, you need to have students which is really which have that kind of that have kind of interest. You need to have similar interests. If you are an artistic person and you are moving to, if you get into a class who are only geeky people who only study, they are not artistic, what will happen? You will not be able to grow there because you will not have those kind of conversations. IIM have those students who are of a similar wavelength. You guys will grow there. The faculties, the kind of the overall, let's say, the kind of atmosphere what they provide you, that only makes sure that you are growing as an individual. Okay, so all the possible reasons why you should consider IPMAT. Uh, I hope that answers the question. A lot of you are asking in regards with ma'am, JEE के लिए के बाद में भी, if it is required for you to kind of take a coaching for IPMAT Jammu or JIPMAT, the answer would be yes. JEE is a complete different ball game altogether, Sachi. But you guys are well prepared if you guys are taking the JEE. But having that understanding ki paper pattern kya hoga, what will be the similar kind of questions you would be getting, that kind of makes it very important. And that is the only reason why Parnika, who was so much dedicated to JEE, decided to join IMS and prepare for the JIPMAT. Okay, so I hope that answers the question for you there. Uh, IIM Jammu doesn't have interview. Somebody is asking if they have interview. No. IIM Jammu spares you. So you don't have interview, but you never know. You never know. Okay, you might kind of come up with something like an interview there. Okay, let's look at, so I think we kind of got the question in terms of why IIM Jammu should be joined, if JIPMAT is or IPMAT or JIPMAT is worth going ahead. Now let's talk about, we kind of got into the admissions, the scoring and everything we got. Let's talk about the academics and the campus life. Okay, so you guys are right now in the first year. 1 जून से second year चालू हो जाएगा 15 दिन की छुट्टी के बाद में, ठीक है? इसलिए मैं तुम लोग को second year ही consider कर रही हूँ. मतलब आज क्या 26 है, एक 20 दिन बचे हैं second year जाने के लिए. You tell me something, Vanshika, now starting with you. What exactly the academics looks like in the first year?
Okay, so it is very varied. We have 2 semesters, and it will change. Like in the first semester, we had history, sociology, PCT, which is principles of computational thinking. We had principles of management as well. So it's like very varied. One thing I can tell you for sure, one course I would particularly like to speak about this semester, that is performing arts. So performing arts was very a very crucial course for us. Now performing arts, in that we had the Honorable Balwant Thakur sir to teach us. He's a Padma Shri, and he had to yeah, so he had to actually, tell us and motivate us. You have to perform in theater, dance, and music. And we had a showcase actually. We had a showcase where some people were dancing, some people were in plays. Pandega was in a play and she was dancing. I was in a play, but I was the director of that play. Yeah, so see that. And last time it was actually one thing that was there was we have yoga. We have yoga in both semesters. But it is not like every day you have to get up and do it. It is an 8 to 9 a.m. class. So it is very feasible to do as well.
Okay, okay. Uh, Karnika, apart from the theater, what exactly stood out for you in terms of academics? What subjects have you studied in the first year?
Okay, so like as Vanshika mentioned, it is all about the holistic experience that we experience at IIM Jammu. And to tell you about, okay, so first of all, I would tell you about the grading system, so how we are graded. So there is a term called relative grading here. So basically it's relative grading. So what it means is that एक टॉपर होगा एंड उसके जितने मार्क्स आएंगे उसके हिसाब से हम लोग को ग्रेड्स मिलेंगे. So it's like if that guy gets, for example, if he gets 45 out of 50, then all of us will be graded out of 45. So it's kind of that. So can you guess the competition? Can you guess, like, all of us are very competitive here. We are very much academically focused. One thing that I found out is that in my previous school, I was not that much focused on my studies, or I was like, it's just going on. But यहाँ पे there's this when while exams approach, everybody is studying, and we pull all nighters together. So it's a very academic rigor program. And talking about the courses, so I feel like performing arts was the like one of the most favorite course. But there was a course called sociology as well as psychology, and we actually so both of these courses are very helpful if you're entering into the human resource field. And we were taught about the theories of sociology. We made presentations on that. So it was a very new experience for me because I'm a science student and I never knew about these courses before. So it was a very, very, very new experience. Plus, there was one course as well. It was called critical thinking and problem solving. So it's like if I speak the name, it's a very vague course. But to be very honest, it was a very nice course because I mean, it actually made me realize about my life decisions. And I started making flowcharts and algorithms even about the smallest decisions that I make in my life. So that is how the courses affect you. So there are a lot of courses and you will enjoy here. Not only, not the sports. Oh my God. The sports committee here, the sports factor here is also very good. And you're also graded on the basis of how well you perform in sports. So it's all a very holistic experience. Don't worry if you guys if you're a multitasker, you will perform, Shreya.
If you're a multitasker, you will definitely perform. When it comes to GIPMAT is concerned, when it comes to IIM Jammu, as we are talking about IIM Jammu and we are talking about IIMs, I think this is something which is very evident when we did this IIM Indore session, IIM Rohtak session. Uh, and this is something even the IIM Jammu, the directors, the admission director, they have actually mentioned about it. So why you should join an IIM or why you should join an IIM Jammu is because the overall development would be there. You will not be what you call a jack of all, is what I would actually, kind of put it across because I have seen my students when I've interacted with them in the first year with when they actually get into the third or the fourth year. It is really nice to interact with them. You will see the difference in terms of how exactly everything changes. So if you guys are there for 2 years, you will see possibly similar kind of students coming. अगर मैं एक ही बच्चे को 2 consecutive year बुलाऊं for campus insider or for any event, You would see the change in terms of the way they talk, in terms of how they carry themselves, in terms of what exactly the thought process and perspective is. I think that's why institutes like this really have a special place in terms of your priority list. Okay, so that's about the academics, that's about the scoring system. Let's look at the question. Parnika, Vanshika, we have a lot of questions here. Okay. Students are asking, can you please clarify about the campus IIM Jammu, about the permanent campus or the other one? So you guys are in the old campus or the new one? Vanshika, can you answer that?
We are in the old campus, ma'am, the Canal Road campus. The new campus that has been recently inaugurated is in Jakti. That is the official campus right now. We'll be moving there, I think, in 1 year's time or something like that. It is very tentative right now. We'll see the number
Okay.
of the new batch.
Okay. So I hope two of you asked this particular question, and that is something which has been answered. One of the students is asking, is it easy to crack GIPMAT for students who are not good in math? Hmm. Uh, I think Vanshika, your maths is like mine. दोनों का maths ICU में रहता है. So can you
ICU
please
से भी
take this
मैम
question?
थोड़ा ज्यादा ही अब at this point.
Ventilator, ventilator.
Ventilator, yes. Yes. Yeah, so see, I have to say the GIPMAT actually my verbal and Ella were very strong. Quants was not. So I had to say like I focused. See, in the GIPMAT, like let's say you have 1 week, right? So in the 5 days I'll study all, but in the last 2 days I'll just work on honing my LR and VA, because that would be like just make the strong suits even stronger, but do work on the weaker suits as well. It's like that. And maths, see, if, if you have been a good student in 9th 10th and like that, some is very basic, some you will have no problem, but a little where there's a new concept, just make sure when the concept is being taught you just absorb it, and if you have a doubt ask right there and then, just don't make a false perception of the topic. That's all. And I think if you're not good at maths like me, but will try, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Okay, you will be fine. पर्णिका, आप जेई कर रहे थे, आपके लिए तो एक क्वेश्चन ही लागू नहीं होता है क्योंकि आपका मैथ्स आई एम अज्यूमिंग अच्छा ही होगा. सो फॉर स्टूडेंट्स हु आर लाइक मी एंड वंशिका, जिनका मैथ्स वेंटिलेटर पे होता है और मैथ्स के साथ में दोस्ती नहीं अच्छी होती है, तो कर लो, अच्छा रहेगा. बट मेक श्योर, a lot of you have been asking that is coaching important? Do we need to join any particular coaching? Yeah, if you guys have not joined IMS, not enrolled in IMS, is it important? See, the reason why it will be important for you to join any coaching, or possibly if you are considering IMS, is because firstly, understanding the paper pattern. Okay, when you're preparing something, you need to understand देने क्या वाले हो, कैसा पेपर पैटर्न होने वाला है, किस तरीके के क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस यू वुड बी गेटिंग. You need to understand what was really the history of the paper, what exactly the marking is. You need to kind of give test by test. The simulators, what we have, we normally call them sim test. You need to make sure that you're giving it to get kind of just used to with the whole paper pattern. And IMS make sure that you are not prepared, you're bloody prepared well. So any coaching you do, if you're joining IMS, if you're joining anything, okay, it is important. It will give you the direction. You know, people who are good at something, when you when you start taking coaching for it, you get better, you get best. You kind of reach to a level of best. So it is important कि कोई भी चीज कर रहे हो, make sure that you have somebody to direct you at this point, because बहुत questions आएंगे and then it will something which will just help you to get those questions answered. uh, I think ये बहुत लंबा आंसर हो गया हमारा. uh, Anybody would like to take up the answer? Vanshika, when did you join IMS?
Ma'am, I joined 1 year prior actually. I joined in June, August, around that time only.
June, August. What about you, Parnita?
Ma'am, I joined thoda sa late as compared to Vanshika. I joined in November. But to be very honest, I actually started preparing after my boards. That is in the 2 month span between boards and GIPMAT, I prepared for.
Okay, now I'll answer this particular question for you. If you guys feel that, for me, I am not sure, okay, Before anybody else, you need to ask yourself, if the paper pattern is something like this, will I take time? Now, we have students who joined 26 के लिए अभी से लोगों ने enroll किया. Why? Because 11th they will be able to focus. पूरा portion complete कर देंगे 12th में. The focus will be on 12th standard. It will be difficult. Cope up कैसे करेंगे? Balance कैसे करेंगे? बीच बीच में time मिलेगा. These people will start, revisiting the same concept, the same thing. They will practice, practice, practice. And then after the boards are over, that's when the real, the gadi goes into the sixth gear, where everything is gone, and then you're just like, you have your blinders on and you're preparing. But by then, you are way ahead than the others. So you need to ask, when will be the right time for you? If you feel, ma'am, confusion hai, speak to a mentor. Go to a IMS center, book a session online, request for a mentor, speak to the mentor. I think they would be able to tell you when will be the right time for you to join IMS coaching. Okay, I hope that answers the question for you all. Do extracurricular activities play a role, important role in IIM Jammu?
Okay, so I feel like I'm the most credible enough source to answer this. That is because I am a part of placement preparation cell here. So there is talking about committees again. So there is a committee or there is a placement umbrella. So as I already mentioned that we have our internship scheduled in our second year, 2 months of corporate and 1 month of social. So for that thing, we actually try to start and maintain the CVs of our students. That is because those CVs are then sent to companies and then company come and select students on the basis of their CVs and interviews. So talking about the CV, I mean, your grades matter, your CGPA matter, everything matters. But I feel like for getting into a good company for your internship, extracurricular activities do matter. But one thing that I would like to say is that it's okay even if you guys don't have any of the things on your CV before coming to IIM Jammu because you will have an array of opportunities when you come at IIM Jammu. So you will take part in a lot of competitions. You will have a lot of things to do here that will actually help you in your extracurricular activities a lot. But then again, I would like to say if you have a prior experience to to the extracurricular activities like MUNs or any internships that you're doing or any live projects, for example, you're doing, or any competitions that you participate in, it's actually better. So, guys who are aiming for 2026, 2025, try to do a lot of extracurricular activities that would help you. So, yeah.
Okay, that will definitely help you then. Coming from the credible source, coming first-hand information, that it is something which would definitely kind of help you. Now let's take Parnika. There's a specific question for you. By whom? I just saw your name somewhere here. Sakshi is asking, Miss Parnika, did you find the academics of management difficult, provided that you are a EMC student and you have not studied commerce before? If so, how did you tackle it?
Wow. So, this is actually a pretty nice question that I would like to answer. So yeah, when I first came here in my first semester, so there are courses like accounts and there is economic and there is marketing. So it's principles and practices of management. That is basically equivalent to business studies that commerce students study in the 11th and 12th standard. So when I first came here, we all have a lot of diversity in terms of subjects that we chose in 11th and 12th standard in our batch, particularly in our batch. So there are less people from humanities. There are, I think, equal number of people from science and commerce, to be very honest. So there were people from commerce, and they are toppers. So they are commerce toppers, and they are in the first semester. We are actually introduced to the basics of accounting. So whatever they've studied in the 11th and 12th standard, the course is repeated. We as science and humanities students, we found it bit difficult, not bit, but pretty difficult to actually go at the commerce people's level. So yeah, I found the transition from physics, chemistry to cost accounting and management a bit tricky. But I think so that was the whole experience that, I hustled a lot in my first year. So you will find it a bit difficult, but I feel like you will be able to cope up with it catering to the good peer group that you have. And I'm telling you guys, if you're from a science and you come here, please make commerce friends and study from them.
Okay. we answered this particular question for Sachi. Sachi has also asked, is it feasible for study a management course in IIM after studying science stream in plus two? I am 11th grader from PNC who is curious. I think Sachi, ये question भी आपका पर्णिका ने बहुत अच्छे से आंसर कर दिया है. Uh, do board marks matter? Vanshika, your 10th and 12th scores after giving GIPMAT, does that matter?
Ma'am, I think there's a weightage like 60% it should be, but other than it, it really does not. It does not. It's based on JIPMAT
Absolutely.
score only.
So let me kind of give you a little understanding. See, when you apply for, if you're looking at, let's say, an IIM, IIM have eligibility. IIM में apply करने के लिए entrance देना पड़ता है. वो entrance के लिए eligibility है. So it's like a gate, you need to clear it. So if you have 60%, you are certain age with certain, let's say criteria like maths important, all that. That is something which would ideally be important. Otherwise, you don't really have to bother about the marks. Okay. Uh, कहाँ गई? By the way, they both are roommates, huh? So दोनों को बहुत शायद गर्मी लग रही है because my next question is about the climate. Somebody is asking that you're from Pune, moving to IIM Jammu, moving to Jammu, how exactly the climate is and how exactly are you able to cope up? See, normally Jammu का जब नाम आता है, this is something which I've realized in my All About IIM Jammu event when we had the admissions director of IIM Jammu who came and who actually spoke to us. People were talking about a lot about the safety issues in Jammu and the weather in Jammu. So, Vanshika, would you like to highlight a little bit? Even I think Parnika is from Pune. Who is from Pune? Parnika is from Pune, right? I want your perspective as girls. How exactly does the safety thing works there? The climate kaisa hai? In brief, if you can help us out.
Ma'am, safety issue, as far as I am concerned, it is totally safe. There's no incidents whatsoever. It's just that, like, one thing you have to know, we can't go out after 8 anyway. So we are not allowed. That way, we are inside these four walls only, and there's no matter that has happened. And also the weather. Okay, so many people think that it's Jammu, तो हमेशा ठंडी रहती है. ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं होता है. ऐसा बिल्कुल एक्सट्रीम जगह पे रह रहे हैं हम. हमें हमें ही पता है कितना पसीना आता है हमें. But see, it's like it gets very, very hot in summers. It gets very, very cold in winters. It's like that. And I have to say, like, I'm from Delhi, so we are still used to it a little. We have an idea. This was a little more for me, but Parnika, like, when the first, wave came of the cold, she was like, तेरे तो फायदे ही है. And we were all laughing because in like the Maharashtra side, the south side, they are not experienced at all with winters. So yeah, they may face a little adaptation issues, but otherwise very easy to adapt, like I said.
Very easy to adapt. Okay, Parnika, kya, the cold was not really favoring you? Extreme climates in Jammu?
Ma'am, not the cold, not the summer, anything is favoring me. So as you guys can already guess, I'm sick right now. I have cold. Feel like I've lost the count, the amount of times I've gone through sickness here. That is because obviously the weather does not suit me because I belong from Pune and I've been brought up and raised in Pune, and Pune is a very moderate climate. So like वहाँ पे एक ही climate चलता है, कभी कभी बारिश हो जाती है बीच में. Coming here, cold, the winter are really on the extreme end and summers are on the extreme end. So for me, adapting to the climate was actually much worse than adapting to the academic rigor here. But I feel like I've done a good job, and yeah, that the only thing is that be prepared for extreme and harsh winters, and also be prepared for very hot summers, but you will adopt. I mean, I feel like you will adopt. So don't worry about the climate. And about the safety issues,
Okay, so
even I
you
had this. Even I had this perception कि Jammu hai, and you know all the terrorists and all of the misconceptions that you usually have about Jammu. But when I came here, I got to know that it's a proper city. So we have everything. Like you talk about good cafes, you talk about good places to visit. We have everything here, and I'm actually loving my life here. Like coming from Pune, I lived a very अच्छा वाला life वहाँ पे, but I don't think so there is any change in Jammu as well. I go out with my friends, I enjoy a lot, and there is no safety issue.
Absolutely. Jammu is a city which has everything. It has places where you can travel. I can definitely tell you, been there in Jammu, experienced Jammu, it's a good place to go. Now let's talk about the campus life. You guys said that campus life seems secured, everything is there, and there is no campus life seems to be good, is what I can understand from you all. Okay. Considering we have last 10 minutes, okay, I want to understand about placement. Yours will be the fourth batch which has entered IIM Jammu, fourth batch, right? Or the third
I'm
batch?
third
Third
IPM
batch.
batch.
This is IPM 0.3. Okay, that's for the batches. So as of now, none of you have moved to MBA. You all are in the first 3 years itself. Okay. Now you tell me something. What exactly is the placement? Because you guys are there. Have you heard something about placement or something which you want to share? Any information which you Vanshika, starting with you, can you give us some information about placement, or have you
Um,
heard something about it?
Ma'am, see, placements, as far as I know, as far as I've heard, actually, Pandika would be a better, answer for this. But I've heard that sometimes there are some ups and downs. And all I can say, I was saying that, the first batch is actually, they have gone to MBA. They are like done with this campus now.
Okay,
So they are going to be residing in that. It's not that none of us are, like, everyone gives cards. So some are going outside, some are going to MBA only. Yeah, so I would hand this question over to Pandika.
Parnika.
Okay, so for one thing, I would like to say the IPM 01 batch, there are many people who are actually going to another IIM. For example, there is one of my friend or one of my senior rather who is actually joining IIM Indore, and another one is joining IIM Trichy. So about the IPM thing, there are people who are actually preferring IIM Jammu, but there are also people who are joining other IIM. And talking about the placement scenario, so I feel like so as far as I've heard from our MBA seniors, um, it's all dependent about the job market. So it's not that कि IIM Jammu है, baby IIM है, इसलिए कम companies आ रही हैं. There are equal number of companies visiting IIM Jammu. And इस बार भी जैसे job market was pretty down, but we've had some really good placements. So there are various companies who come. So IIM Jammu is mostly focused on marketing and sales. So there are many companies who came for marketing and sales. But one thing that I would like to say is that operations के लिए भी बहुत सारी company आई थी. So it's a specialization. So placement scenario is pretty good here. 100 our MBA 07 batch just graduated and just got placed. And I'm happy to say, as a part of placement preparation cell, I'm happy to say that we have placed about 100% of the batch, and all of them are placed in the respective. And our MBA 08 batch was currently residing in the new campus. They've gone for their summer internships. So summer internships also play a really like major part in the placement um, scenario. And I feel like SIPs or summer internship placements have also been pretty good comparing the job market being down. So placement is not an issue. You will totally get placed, but it's only about the matter of how well you will do and how well what company chooses you. But don't worry, guys, you will get placed if you're an IM.
Okay, so if you thank you so much, Parnika. I think that was very helpful. If you guys go to IIM, now you have to understand IIMs maybe hierarchy hota hai, okay, but you want to do the best. So a lot of students who are in any IIM Ahmedabad wale try nahi karte, but any other IIM after second year, even NMIMS students, even let's say Shahid Sukhdev students, they will try to actually start preparing for CAT. Okay, because after completing your graduation, post graduation, master's, MBA becomes a very natural progression. After your BBA, next is MBA. So a lot of students would prepare, and so do the IIM Jammu, Bodh Gaya, Rohtak students would actually try to do. Even Indore would do. So if you're in IIM Indore, ऐसा नहीं है कि वहाँ पे you're, you have reached the ultimate place. No, People will try to look out for IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore. A lot of students will try to look at possibly studying MBA abroad. So opportunities doesn't end. It's just the start. It's just that you need to understand where you really want to, what is the end for you. If you're ambitious, try whatever you wish to. Okay. We don't have time, but I want to address a very important question for my students who are continuously asking what are the last minute tips, Parnika, Vanshika, which you would like to give us, because 6th June is the entrance exam, which is for JIPMAT. Parnika, you both are given JIPMAT. What do you think should be kept in mind? What do you think are the last minute tips which you would be able to give?
Okay, guys, so this is the most cliche tip that I'm going to give, but guys, give as many mocks as you can because they are the key to any of your IM, rather it be Indore, Rohtak, Ranchi, Jammu, both, yeah. Because giving mocks will actually help you realize the paper pattern. So now, in these entrance exams, what it usually happens is that it is not about the amount of or the number of questions that you answer. It is about you choose the right question and answer that. So JIPMAT, even Indore, even Ranchi has sectional cutoff. So even if you're not good in one section, but if you clear that cutoff and you perform extremely well in other sections, you will be ready to go. So that is what I'm trying to say is that choose the right questions and then do it. And also, last, I'm just going to say that make your strong points more strong and work on your weak points and give as many mocks. Give the sectional test on IMS portal. IMS portal is really good. Give all the sectional, give all the VA, verbal, mocks, everything that is be there. Practice as many questions. And last thing is that keep your mind cool. We are all waiting for you here.
Yeah, so well, Pandit has covered the extent of it. But see, one more thing that I would like to add is while you're giving the paper, just now, if a question comes and you're thinking, "Bhai, ये बहुत difficult है," then leave it. Don't waste your time on it. I have to do it. मेरे को cut off clear करनी है. Give as many. I think Japan, at least at that time, we can go back and forth. It's not sequential. So at that time, I was just doing that and it really helped. It gave me a lot of time in the exam. Like the 15 minutes I had extra. So that could really be a lifesaver for some if you're not good at time management. Just don't waste your like time on a question and also give marks absolutely. Jitna practice karoge, utna better karoge. That's a point. And after that, one more thing, take water with you. Don't get dehydrated the whole time. Energy, see, when you're sitting in a chair for 2 3 hours, you're going to be very lethargic when you come out, and you don't want that during the exam. So that's one more thing. And I think, I don't know if it's allowed, but some instructors, actually some videos I've heard, get a toffee or something. you know just energy aati rehni chahiye. And also, one last thing I'll just say, that while giving the exams or before the exams, don't be nervous or anxious. It's अभी तक इतना किया है, कुछ तो किया है ना, तो it will work. Just don't let the anxiety ruin the exam. Yeah.
Also,
Don't
adding
let the,
to, yeah,
go
adding to
ahead.
Vanshika, नेगेटिव मार्किंग का ध्यान रखना फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल डोंट ट्राई टू सॉल्व ऑल ऑफ द क्वेश्चन एंड उसमें तुम्हारे करेक्ट वाले ज्यादा हो जाए और गलत वाले गलत वाले ज्यादा हो जाए और करेक्ट वाले कम हो जाए सो थिंक अबाउट दैट एंड फॉर द लास्ट डे टिप्स guys please don't forget to carry your admit card, carry everything that is necessary, reach the center 1 hour before because there are many security checks that you have to go through and just be well prepared, keep your mind cool और mocks एक दिन पहले देना छोड़ देना लास्ट दिन कुछ मत करना जस्ट
Yeah, that's a very good tip. Don't give the mocks one day before, because then अगर एक भी थोड़ा सा ऐसा हो गया, पूरी सेल्फ एस्टीम जो जाती है. No, don't even consider it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for the last minute tips. And with this, I know you all of have asked me a lot of questions. Uh, इसमें से थोड़े क्वेश्चंस ऐसे हैं जो बहुत प्रैक्टिकल हैं. आई विल बी आंसरिंग देम माय आईएमएस पे नोटिफिकेशन टैब में. आई विल बी गेटिंग दोज आंसर्स. Parnika and Vanshika, I would be sending these questions to you. I would appreciate it whenever you get time. Just answer these particular questions for me because these students want the answer, and that's something which I definitely want to help them. So we would be answering all the questions. IIM Jammu notifications tab pe you would get Campus Insider IIM Jammu questions. All the FAQs would be there. Okay. With this, they need to go to the boot camp. Wish them all the best. And with this, we shall take your leave. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in for the session. There's a little poll. If you have not given the poll, I would appreciate. Please give the poll. It will give me a little sneak in terms of how exactly this is helping. And on behalf of everyone, Panika and Vanshika, I want to thank both of you for taking out time and doing this for us. All the best, do well, and I will definitely see you soon. We will interact soon for another session. All right. And for the rest of you applying for GIPMAT, going for GIPMAT, all the best. Do well. Tension mat lo. ABC dhyan mein rakho. And make sure that you are just 100% focused. All right. All the best,
Thank you for
people.
giving your
25,
time to
26.
us. Thank you
Most
for
welcome.
giving
And
your
thank you
time to
so much, both
us.
of you girls. All right, students, thank you so much for joining in. And I hope you liked the session. I will be doing I Am Bodh Gaya very soon. So make sure you join for the I Am Bodh Gaya session. I will make sure I answer all the questions. In case if you want to know more about any other university, do let me know. And till then, signing off. Thank you so much for joining in for the session. All the best and do well. Bye bye.